0864. Station's your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck. Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
They're competitors. They'll want to put the O on.
Three, got it!
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound, up and in! 1 point more to go!
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field, back toward the wall. Gone!
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins!
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
We've got a lot of Oregon athletics to get to today, and we begin with a Pac-12 championship. The Oregon women securing the Pac-12 championship in outdoor track and field. Congratulations to the Ducks. The run continues for the Oregon women, the 2023 Pac-12 champions. We'll begin with that today. Shelby Moran and Yorinde Van Klinken won Pac-12 titles in the hammer and shot put respectively for the women of Oregon on day 2 of the championships. And then for a second consecutive year, the team won the Pac-12 title. The UO women won 7 titles during the weekend, including 5 Sunday afternoon to secure the 13th conference title in program history. 13th conference title in program history. Women of Oregon started the day yesterday with a victory in the 4x100 relay and went on to collect titles in the 100 meters by Jaden Mays, the 400-meter hurdles by Shayna Grebo, the triple jump by Alexis Ellis, and discus by Yorinde Van Klinken. The UO women, ranked 4th in the NCAA, finished the Pac-12 championships with 158.5 points. Congratulations to the Oregon women. Now, the men did not finish first. It does end that long streak that the men had of conference titles. But I got to tell you, I think that when you have a coach turnover, the fact that the women won the Pac-12, I mean, just like shout out to the way that they've performed, the way that this entire season has gone for them. And now, I got to say, it is befuddling to me that Hayward Field is still not the permanent host of the NCAA championships. Like, it really just is odd. I mean, I understand that if you're any other team, not the University of Oregon, you're going, hey, that's an advantage. We don't want to have that. Okay. Let me back this up. In Oklahoma City, is it an advantage for Oklahoma that it's in their home state for the Women's College World Series? Yeah. But also, that's where the USA Softball Hall of Fame is. The fan base there is awesome. It's a great environment, and it's a fabulous venue. And I don't think that you hear a lot of people saying, it shouldn't be in Oklahoma City. I don't think you hear a lot of people saying, the College World Series shouldn't be in Omaha. It's the Hayward Field, and I'm literally pointing toward Hayward Field directionally right now. Hayward Field is the pinnacle of track and field. It's the theater of track and field. I know that I'm sitting here wearing an O on my chest. I know I'm biased. But you know what? Everyone agrees with me. You could be from Arkansas, from Texas, from LSU, from USC, the big track and field performers. They want to compete at Hayward Field. That's why the World Championships were here. It's in Austin this year. I just think it should be the permanent host. Nobody does it better than Hayward Field for track and field. So it is odd that now the West prelims begin, and then the Ducks will be traveling to Austin for the national championships. And the Ducks, I think, have a good chance on the women's side to win the darn thing. I also think that the Ducks probably at least have a great chance to podium. I'm looking forward to that. Also today, softball selection show yesterday, following a good regular season. Not long ago, Oregon softball was on a 13-game winning streak. We were talking about that with Coach Lombardi in the studio. But now have lost 4 straight after that heartbreaker in the Pac-12 tournament against Stanford. Ducks need a bounce back. And for the second straight season, actually, Oregon is headed to Fayetteville, Arkansas for the NCAA tournament. The Ducks will be the number 2 seed in the Fayetteville Regional. They will be hosted by Arkansas, the number 11 overall seed, Friday through Sunday. Oregon will open play Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time against Notre Dame on ESPN2. Also broadcast on KWVA with our guy Ryan Milano, the hometown call on the student radio station. Arkansas and Harvard will play the second game on Friday. We'll get to the entire bracket, but again, Friday, 2 o'clock Pacific time on ESPN2, Oregon and Notre Dame as part of the Fayetteville Regional. Now, the winner of this regional would likely play Oklahoma State, who is the 6th seed in that region. We'll see how things shake out for the Ducks. Now, Oregon finished the season 35-15, and this is the 3rd straight NCAA tournament appearance for the Ducks under Coach Lombardi, and the 23rd NCAA appearance all-time in program history. Ducks ended up tied for 4th in the Pac-12 at 14-10, and this will be the first time that Oregon and Notre Dame, who went 27-19-1, have met in the postseason. The Ducks lead the all-time series with the Fighting Irish 5-2. The two teams last met in 2020. And I'll be honest, when I saw Notre Dame pop up, I was thinking to myself, gosh, you don't see an Oregon-Notre Dame matchup in any sport very often. And then I was reminded of the COVID year in 2020 that they had played that year. In any case, Oregon and Arkansas played twice in the 2022 NCAA tournament in Fayetteville. The Razorbacks won both of those games. Arkansas leads the overall series 5-3. The Ducks and Harvard have met once previously, a 6-0 win for Oregon in 2008. Now, the whole field. Oklahoma's the 1 seed. I'm shocked. Clemson is the 16 seed, and I think that there was a lot of conversation, particularly heading into the Utah series for the Ducks, if Oregon would end up hosting a regional. I think the Ducks were in pretty good position maybe to do so. Well, Utah, after sweeping Oregon, and here's where so many of these series, so many of these storylines can really matter. Utah swept Oregon in Eugene, advanced further in the Pac-12 tournament. Well, Utah's the 15 overall seed. I think that Coach Lombardi, who we are planning to chat with tomorrow based on their travel schedule, I think that Coach Lombardi would tell you that opportunities were there for the Ducks this season. And they had kind of an up-and-down year with some winning and losing streaks. But I think that just tells you how razor-thin that margin is when Utah ends up as the 15. And you know what I don't like? When I was the voice of the softball team, this happened a lot, and I remember talking with Coach White about this, and I've talked with a lot of people about it over the years. Sometimes I understand that you can't avoid pairing a conference team with a fellow conference team in the Super Regional. So what I mean by that is, for example, Utah is the 15 seed. UCLA is the 2 seed. I get it that you want to make it a true ranking of 1 through 16. That's the committee's job. But I hate the fact that with the way the regional tournaments are set up for NCAA postseason, Utah and UCLA are now going to meet in the Super Regionals, and that means that no matter what, there's a couple ways to look at this. No matter what, a Pac-12 team, if they both get out of the regionals, is going to make it to the Women's College World Series. But it also means that a Pac-12 team is for sure going to lose in the Super Regionals. So here's, for example, Tennessee is the 4 seed, Texas is the 13. I'm in for that, right? Like, that to me is a good matchup, at least right now. They're not in the same conference. Northwestern's the 12 against Alabama. There you go. Difference in conference. Stanford is the 9. Duke is the 8. And Stanford was number 3 in the RPI, by the way, and they're the 9 overall seed. I like that matchup. Clemson against Oklahoma, for example, that one makes sense to me. Florida State, Georgia, different conferences. Arkansas, Oklahoma State, different conferences. Washington, LSU, different conferences. Oh, Utah, UCLA, same conference. I don't know. It just seems to have – this is just me talking for a minute. I am not representing the University of Oregon's opinion on this. But I just feel like every year in the softball postseason, there's always a Pac-12 Super Regional. Always. And there's a lot of SEC teams that get into this darn thing, and they don't end up playing each other, it seems like, that often in the Supers. I don't know. I actually have no factual data to back this up. But I just have always felt like the Pac-12 gets grouped together in the Super Regionals in softball. In any case, what it's going to take for the Ducks, beating Arkansas after beating Notre Dame, and then they would have a date likely with Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's regional is Nebraska, Wichita State, and UMBC. Of course, made famous during the NCAA tournament, UMBC, the first 16 seed to ever take down a 1 seed in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. So, there you go. Arkansas. That's where the Ducks are headed, and we're going to talk with Coach Lombardi on the show later this week. She also met with the media following the announcement last night. We've got that for you coming up. Coach Lombardi, Allie Bunker, Tara McGowan. We'll recap Duck baseball. Men's golf is in action in the regionals today as well. And I should have mentioned, Alexis Cross is going to join us. It's Ducks Give Day on Thursday, and a lot of fun giveaways that you're going to want to hear about. Lexi Cross telling us about all that when we return. A lot to cover today. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and make memories that make summer, summer. Like catching a road game in a RAV4. I got it.
Toyota, let's go places. Participating dealers only. Event ends May 31st. Dealer inventory may vary.
Hey, Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and make memories that make summer, summer. Like catching a road game in a RAV4. I got it.
Toyota, let's go places. Participating dealers only. Event ends May 31st. Dealer inventory may vary.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Pac-12 champions for the Oregon women's track and field team. Congratulations to the Ducks. More breaking down that coming up. But Oregon baseball, a tough weekend. Yes, we're going to get into it. There are over 200 scenarios, it seems like, for determining what the seeds will be in the Pac-12 tournament. The Ducks can finish in the Pac-12 now in baseball anywhere from 3rd through 7th. It comes at you fast sometimes. We're going to break all that down coming up. But I do want to let you listen in on Coach Lombardi following the selection. The Ducks are going to Fayetteville, Arkansas, the host. They're going to play at 2 o'clock Pacific time on Friday against Notre Dame. Melissa Lombardi.
You know, for us, we're excited. We know that whether we host a regional or whether we are going to a regional, it's going to be tough. You know, what we like about Arkansas is the familiarity of it. We were just there last year. We're familiar with their field. We're familiar with them as a team. We're familiar with the regional, you know, in Fayetteville. Like, there's just a lot of familiarity for us. We're excited and thrilled to be in postseason as well. You know, I don't think it's something like hearing your name is something that never, ever gets old. So these guys have worked hard all year. I think our body of work is showing for us and what we've done this year. And I know we're all just extremely excited to get started.
Coach, obviously going back to Arkansas, what did you learn last time that you learned about the park, over the way it plays? What are you going to learn from last year taking it into this year?
Just that we know that, you know, with any regional, regardless of where you play, it's all about your first game, you know, and right now for us, the biggest thing that we want to do is get ready to play Notre Dame. That's the most important thing that we can do. What I like is that the park that we're going to go play in, we played there. We're familiar with it. You know, to me, it doesn't seem that long ago that we were just there. So we like that. We think it allows us to get there and to be very routine oriented with the tournament. And I think that goes a long way for our group.
Missy, do you have an understanding this year? Are you kind of at ease with the selection part of it and not getting a regional if it came down to you guys and Clemson, for example, and see how the resumes compare? And because you guys did have a better resume than a year ago and maybe even than 2 years ago. So you guys had the best body of work you've had in the last couple of years, but still on the outside looking in at hosting. Are you at peace with that? Or obviously you wish you would have hosted, but are you okay with the fact that you're on the road again?
I think anytime that you can host, of course we would love to do that. But for us, we're excited to be a part of postseason and to, you know, go seek what is next for us. And that is the opportunity to play Notre Dame. What I love is this is our third year as a team going to postseason. And I have a lot of elders on this team that have been there and done that. And I think their experience and their knowledge and understanding of postseason is going to go a long way for us.
Yeah, Missy, do you get the sense that the players on your team that were on the team last year are amped to return to Fayetteville and Bogle Park? Because that regional final was so close last year, tied in the sixth inning, and now you get a chance to potentially, you know, some redemption in Fayetteville.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think, again, to go back there and to have that familiarity, I think that is huge for us. And these guys were excited, one, to hear our name called, but the opportunity to go back to Arkansas is huge for us.
The chance to potentially looking ahead, but the super draw as well, is that something that you appreciate, having the chance to replay a team that you've already played once before?
To me, it's all about Notre Dame. That's it. That's all I care about is Notre Dame.
I know you're focused on Notre Dame, Coach, but it's easy to compare Arkansas, especially from last year to this year. They're a team that had two really big-time pitchers last year that carried the load for them. One of those pitchers is gone. They now have a 4-person staff. Maybe not about their team specifically, but holistically, what is the different challenge between a 1-2 punch versus a number one and then a 2-3-4 behind them as a pitching staff?
Again, honestly, all I care about right now is Notre Dame. Whatever the next step is, we'll worry and deal with it once we get there.
With that in mind, Missy, what do you know about Notre Dame? They're not a team who you came across at one of the various non-conference tournaments this winter. So what do you know of them? What do you know by way of their personnel for this season?
Yeah, they have elders as well. You know, I feel like everybody this year has elders. So they have a lot of experienced athletes. They're coached very, very well. I've known their coaches for a long time. They always pitch well. They play good defense and offense. I mean, like I would describe them and describe all the other teams in our tournament as well. So that's why, for me, the most important thing we can do right now is get locked into them.
Last year, it was 2 major conference teams with 2 mid-majors in your region. This year, you got 3 major conference teams with 1 mid-major in your region. What kind of changes the outlook when you have that different grouping?
You know, for us, honestly, I don't think our outlook is any different. Right now, I really, really like how our team is playing. It's to me, when we play our best softball, regardless of who it is that we're playing, it's because we are playing for us and we are so caught up in what the person in front of me, behind me, to the side of me is doing. And so we know that this tournament's going to be a tough tournament and that we're going to have to play our best. But to me, it's just about us sticking to Oregon softball and really getting caught up about us and how we go about things. I think that's going to be the biggest thing that we can do.
You've been in postseason mentality this whole time. You're saying you're focused on Notre Dame. Is that one game at a time mentality really emphasis of the postseason mentality?
For sure. It's a part of our postseason mentality. To me, to look ahead, I think would totally go away from what we've done this entire year. We've been very caught up in having, one, a faceless opponent, and two, who's up next.
Lineup wise, Missy, do you expect or anticipate any changes from what you put out there against Stanford? With Notre Dame, they only have right-handed pitchers, so I'm imagining that Alyssa probably is still at DP, but more even in batting order, because KK hadn't batted eighth all year until that Stanford game. So expect or anticipate any potential shakeup or changes to the order or lineup?
It could be the same, or we could shake it up. I think that's something that as we dive into Notre Dame, we'll have a better idea of what is our best lineup to go against them.
Coach, do you have any sense of what the mood of the team is? Just being able to kind of knowing that they're going to the postseason, but having lost the opportunity to host the regionals, is there any kind of letdown, or are they still excited about making that journey and continuing on?
It's all about the journey. These guys were going crazy. They're excited. For us, it's not about, I think, our outlook on everything that we've done this year. It's not about what we don't have or what we don't get. It's about what's in front of us and what we're going to do with it. So this group they can't wait. They're trying to get their schoolwork and their school in order, because we're still doing that. But they're ready to hop on a plane and go.
Can you tell us about the atmosphere? Are you hosting? Was there a spread of food? What was that like in terms of how you guys watched the selection show?
Yeah, we had them all come over to my house, and honestly, we celebrated the season and celebrated our body of work, and just had opportunity to eat and actually swim a little bit, and then got to watch the selection show.
How did you celebrate Hannah's birthday at all? Taya's birthday, Coach Martyr's birthday? I know they all kind of came back to back. Was this sort of part of that celebration?
I feel like we've been celebrating birthdays lately, like just constantly every day or every other day. So yes, we celebrated all three of them. And I feel like we have more birthdays coming up right around the corner. So no, it was good. It was a great day. We actually had opportunity to practice today, had a really, really good practice. And then from there, we all met over here and, like I said, got to enjoy ourselves and then watch the selection show.
I got to tell you, I listening to Coach Lombardi yesterday, I love the demeanor of the team. They were down after losing 4. There's no doubt. They wanted to host a regional, and we talked about how razor thin those margins are. But, the way that they're going about this, I think you have to, right? It is a new season at this point. The team, after a heartbreaking loss like that one against Stanford, could easily be feeling down. But instead, it sure seems like they're fired up about being in the postseason. Plan to talk with Coach Lombardi a little bit more on the show tomorrow based on their travel schedule and how things line up. We're going to have her on the show here coming up again. Let's see. Why don't we hear a little bit from Allie Bunker? She has been so good for the Ducks all year, and this is her last ride. Both her and Tara McGowan, others, are going to hear from both of them. Let's begin with Allie Bunker after the selection to the Fayetteville Regional.
Allie, getting a chance to go back to a familiar confines of Arkansas, what are your thoughts, and what do you think the expectations of the team playing Notre Dame that first game? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we're all super excited. When our name got popped up, we're like, let's go, because we are just familiar with the venue, which is nice. Most of us have been there before, and I think that's a big part of it, is just knowing, the field you're playing at and the fans and whatnot. So that's pretty cool to go back there and see what we can do year 2. Notre Dame's a tough team, so we're really looking forward to compete in this regional, and 4 great teams at this regional and great teams throughout the tournament. So just looking forward to competing.
What did you learn about Bogle Park the first time you played? Is there anything unique about it? Does the ball fly? How does the dirt play? Like what did you pick up about the characteristics of the park the first time you threw?
I think it's similar to our field, really passionate fans like our field. So not too different from us, I think. So I feel familiar with that field, and I think everyone would agree.
You've done this a couple of times, Allie. What's the difference psychologically as a team on that Friday night, whether you're in the winner's bracket or the loser's bracket, in terms of when you're going into Saturday knowing there's at least a margin for error versus the season's on the line every game thereafter, and the importance of getting that first win and being on that side? Or is it not necessarily as stressful?
I think it's always important to get the first game in a regional. I think as long as there's outs, there's a chance to win, and that's what we've been saying all year long. And so I feel like we've been playing with that sort of mentality, which will help us regardless of the outcome of the first game. But yeah, we're just excited to compete, and we always have outs to work. As long as we have outs to work with, we have a chance to win.
Allie, you guys went into the season not just training your physical, but also your mental approach to the game. The end of the season didn't quite close the way you wanted to, which will kind of put that psychological training to the test. What are your thoughts about having that preparation and leaning on it now?
Yeah, I think the Pac-12 tournament gave us an opportunity to play with something on the line, which is new for us this year, new for everyone in the conference. And we thought it was great to kind of feel like there's a little bit more pressure on you, because if you lose, you go home. And so being able to play a game like that this year definitely will set us up for what's to come this weekend.
The goal this season for you has been be better against the opponents that you played last year, have a better result. Does getting the same draw as last year against the same seed sort of help that mindset of you guys going in and saying, we went to Arkansas last year, didn't get out of the region, now we're going to Arkansas again and are looking for a different result?
I think every year a team is a little bit different, regardless of how many people they're returning or not. We're a different team than last year. I'm sure the other teams are playing this weekend are going to be different than last year. And so I think anyone could beat anybody at any given time. And that's kind of what we've learned throughout the course of this season and just softball in general. So yeah, going through this weekend, I'm sure we played this team last year, or we've played a couple teams last year, but it doesn't matter because this year's whole different ball game.
How much does it help that it's almost like an extension of Pac, where you played every team in the Pac-12 conference multiple times last year, you played Arkansas multiple times last year? How does it help to have a look at a team multiple times the season prior and then kind of extend out this Pac-12 season, if you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's just cool that we get to play this weekend in a familiar place, focusing on Notre Dame for sure. I think the last time we played them was a few years ago, so there's not really much to remember from that, but just looking forward to the first game.
2020, Bunk.
Yeah.
Played 2020.
I was like, I didn't remember how long ago, but seems like a while.
Shout out,
of course.
Shout out Greg Walker, Oregon Sports Information Director. He knew on the Zoom and told her in real time. Well done, Greg. I loved that. I love that Scott put the interviews into the system. I love that you left that in there because that was gold. I heard Greg do that. I was like, yes, Greg. Yes. He is the master of record books, Greg Walker. Once upon a time on Duck Insider, we used to do a trivia segment where Greg would come in with Oregon trivia and try to stump me and Jerry, and like we'd keep track. We stopped doing it because Greg started to get to questions that were so difficult that no one knew the answer. But Greg is a walking history book. When we come back, more on softball, more on baseball, more on Pac-12 championships in track and field, women's basketball, some news, men's golf and regionals today, but also some fun giveaways for fans. It's a possibility. You're going to hear about it next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it,
OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCAA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe, do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time, save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial Studio. Coming up on Thursday, it's Ducks Give Day. And we earlier sat down with Alexis Cross from the Duck Athletic Fund talking about all the details that you need to know, including some awesome opportunities for some giveaways for fans. Info coming up on Day of Giving. This has been a long-running tradition now, but still a relatively new tradition. Info with Alexis Cross. She's in charge of Women in Flight, joining us today to talk about all things Duck Athletic Fund. So do we have to revise your title? Like, I can't just call you the director of Women in Flight. I mean, now you're representing multiple interests, Lexi.
Sure am, Joey. Utility knife over here.
Yes.
No, maybe that's just the job title. I'm director of Women in Flight. Utility knife.
/ utility knife. That's great. It needs to go on your business card. We need to make updates. Okay, I'm just going to go open floor for you here. I've been talking about it the last week leading up to this upcoming Day of Giving on Thursday. It's a university-wide initiative. Open floor. Give us the details, Lexi.
Great, Joey. Thanks so much for having me. As you mentioned, university-wide, Day of Giving is something that the entire University of Oregon puts efforts towards, and each unit brings their own spin on it. So athletics is doing the same thing. And this year, we are calling it A Day with the Ducks.
Nice.
So there will be 6 different opportunities to engage with the Ducks, and really our effort this year for Day of Giving is acquisition and exposure. We want to provide really fun opportunities for anyone and everyone to engage at any level with Oregon athletics.
I love that. So if you're someone who gives, whether it be $5 to $5,000, there's some opportunities that come along with that, right?
There are, yes. And I can run through them. We tried to really represent every corner of our department and the different interests that may exist out there for people to get in touch with us. So the first, starting off the morning with breakfast with the Ducks.
Yes.
And Joe, you helped with this one, but we gathered a group of student athletes that sat around and had breakfast like they do every morning, and asked each other questions and responded to our questions and ate a good breakfast together. So that is a fun one. It's a recorded segment that will be distributed to anyone who engages and makes a gift to that initiative of the day. And the cool part about all of these different opportunities is that there's also a giveaway component. So anyone who makes a gift, like you said, of any size, will be entered to win the specific giveaway item for that opportunity. So in this case, breakfast with the Ducks, our giveaway item is one lucky participant will be thanked by receiving the invitation to have breakfast with the football team during fall camp.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. First of all,
Yeah.
I have to tell everybody, football during fall camp, breakfast during fall camp is some next level intensity. So I hope you're ready to be competitive in your own eating if you get the opportunity for this one. I'm only like sort of kidding if I'm being honest with you. What else is out there, Lexi? I mean, I love the fact that, it's not just like give and then there's these things that you get to engage with. Like there's a reason for supporting it. And all of this money, ultimately, that's what it's doing, right? It's supporting Oregon athletics.
It is the Duck Athletic Fund and all of the experience of our student athletes. So the second one, we're calling it Find Your Fit with Oregon Athletics, brought to you by Nike, our wonderful partners. And fit has kind of two meanings to it. One, it's your fit. What is your outfit with Nike? And the other is your actual fit in the department. So we have a representative from every sport that has filled out a personality questionnaire. And as a participant, you get to take that quiz and you'll be paired with the student athlete you're most similar to. And it's their real responses. So you know that you actually have something in common with them by participating in that quiz.
Cool.
Super fun. And then the giveaway item for that one is an authentic game jersey.
Okay, yeah. Well, everybody needs an authentic game jersey. That's
Gotta swag 'em
essential.
out.
What else you got? What's next?
Next is coffee with athletic director Rob Mullins. So this is a fun one because it is a live engagement. So making a gift throughout the day, you'll receive a link to that live conversation with Rob. Questions will be available and just a really cool access point to the man in charge, the one who knows what's all going on.
Yeah.
And the giveaway piece the winner will receive an in-person coffee with Rob and be able to sit down with him and ask those questions in person.
Cool. And so a reminder, all of this is on the 18th, on Thursday of this week. And so you're going to get a lot of exposure from Oregon in general with this day. I'm just going to put that out there for everybody. It's not just athletics. If you're an alum, like I've been getting emails about this from the School of Journalism and Communication. This is a big university-wide initiative because without the philanthropy piece that goes with not just athletics but the entire university, the university doesn't operate the way that it is. We all know that, and I think it's interesting. Like we say that, and I think people sort of roll their eyes, like no, like you guys sell tickets and tuition, but it actually does. I'm serious. It makes a huge, huge difference. And Lexi's nodding her head, which means that I wasn't just completely spewing, nothing that made any sense there. But I think that's important for everybody to know. What else? As people give, they get opportunities for something else too.
They do. And the next one, for all the meatheads out there that like to get in the gym, it is a workout with the Ducks.
Nice.
Brought to you by Muscle Milk. And we worked with Coach Wilson Love, one of our head strength and conditioning coaches, and he provided us a week of workouts that are actually done by our student athletes.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
We did simplify them a little bit. There were some equipment pieces and some specifics that I'm sure probably don't exist at a 24-hour fitness. But we did it is pretty standard to what our teams do. And so if you want to give it a try, you'll receive a PDF copy of a week of workouts. And the winner of the giveaway will be selected for a tour of our athletic facilities, including the weight room.
Yeah, the weight room is something, and those workouts, I'm telling you, are no joke. So if you're interested and you give toward that, just be prepared. That's my
or
advice.
Just take a look at the PDF and don't actually go do it.
Right.
There's that option too, right?
Give it a shot, though. Like you want to see like this is what a high level athlete is going through. Like Lexi, I talk a lot about how on Duck Insider, part of my goal is to give people the, for lack of a better phrase, inside look at what goes on every day in Oregon athletics. Right? Like it's not just the what you see on the field, it's also the weight room that's right below the studio and the work that goes in, as as a former student athlete, the work that goes in ahead of time. That's a big deal.
It is. And Day of Giving is just such a fun opportunity. And we try to think so creatively about ways that we can do that make it fun. And it isn't just about one thing or one sport, but it's about everything.
Yeah.
So that's the next opportunity. Moving on, we have lunch with Bo and Izzy Nix. Really fun. Claps all around for that one. I'm really excited about this. And actually, Izzy Nix is interviewing Bo, and they're going to go back and forth. So it'll be really authentic conversation to learn a little bit more about them and the lucky participant will be selected to win an in-person lunch in HTC.
Nice. Yeah. Bo is a great interview. I can tell you from experience when he has sat in this very chair that Lexi's head is currently floating over since she's joining us remotely. Bo is spectacular. Izzy is a better interviewer than I am. You will want to see this. I'm not kidding. What else? What else can fans look forward to?
One piece I forgot on that one. So that one is also a live conversation. So you will be able to submit questions as they're sitting there, which will be really fun.
Well, a quick timeout. When we come back, more with Alexis Cross talking about Day of Giving. You're hearing that Thursday is going to be a day filled with all kinds of activities for Duck fans. That's on the horizon. Stick with us on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and make memories that make summer, summer. Like catching a road game in a RAV4. I got it.
Toyota, let's go places. Participating dealers only. Event ends May 31st. Dealer inventory may vary.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCAA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and make memories that make summer, summer. Like catching a road game in a RAV4. I got it.
Toyota, let's go places. Participating dealers only. Event ends May 31st. Dealer inventory may vary.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Welcome back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial Studio. Continuing our conversation with Alexis Cross. Thursday is a big day around Oregon athletics and the entire University of Oregon community. It is Ducks Give Day, and Oregon Athletics has put together a ton of different opportunities and giveaways for you, for those of you who donate with us on Thursday. Continuing our chat with Alexis Cross.
And last but certainly not least, we have an evening brain teaser with the Ducks, a trivia quiz.
Oh.
So spanning all generations of Oregon sports and also some questions about our state itself.
Nice.
We are looking for the Oregon expert. And it's cool. The platform we're using, you actually receive a score and you receive a ranking.
Wow.
For where you are in that lineup. And so that one, I'm hoping there's some competitive juices coming out. I would actually be curious, Joey, how you do on the quiz.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I wonder what I would get. Okay. Well, wait, now, so this was a hard-hitting investigative report on Duck Insider last week, Lexi, okay? So I need to ask you a serious question. The Ducks' birthday party was on Friday, okay?
Yeah.
How old is the duck?
The old duck or the new duck?
See, that's good. So see, Lexi's already a step above. So I say that this current iteration of the duck is 76 years old, because it was in 1947 that the handshake agreement between Leo Harris and Walt Disney was agreed upon. So that was in 1947 when the likeness of Donald was used with that handshake agreement. The duck is sort of of that look now and still is. So I say 1947 is when this iteration of the Duck was born, so that makes the Duck 76 years old this year.
Okay, so are you telling me his birthday party didn't have an age on it? It was just a party?
I think that's the case, yes.
Okay, worthy of celebration.
Yeah, absolutely.
More life.
Absolutely.
More life.
So if that's on this quiz, I'd get that one right.
You would. It is not, unfortunately, but we
Next
had
year.
it. Maybe that's what people get as a benefit for watching the show today, is that they know one of the answers.
Yeah, next year. Wait, have you taken it? Like, how'd you do?
Well, I made the questions.
Oh, so. Okay. All right.
The combo from Rob Mosley. Rob Mosley helped quite a bit. So
that's great. So Rob, see, I was about to say, like, my goal competitively would be to get a higher score than Rob. But if Rob wrote most of the questions, then now my goal is to get a higher score than Jerry.
Yeah, you need to find your opponent and challenge them. And that's a really fun piece of this too, is all of these digital components have, when you finish them, they have an opportunity to share on Facebook. Like, all of the social and texting features are optimized so that you can share it with someone else and encourage them to participate and or try and beat your high score.
So it's a day with the Ducks, everybody.
Day with the Ducks.
There's been a lot of different versions of the day with the Ducks on Day of Giving over the course of the last few years, and I think it's great. I mean, can you give a little bit of the history lesson on this too, Lexi? Like, just the growth of the day, because I mentioned at the start, like, it's still a relatively new thing that athletics and the university as a whole has really bought into. What's the history lesson here?
It is a newer thing, and it's crazy how quickly it's been adopted across the country at institutions everywhere. And I think you just see a lot of engagement when it is a focused day. We never want to be people that are bombarding with emails or hitting people for all these different things all the time. And so Day of Giving is so cool because it's a community effort. It's like everyone gets together and puts some extra thought into creating fun ways to engage. Some of my favorites that athletics has done over the past years was, well, I'm biased, but last year was all women in flight focused.
Right.
And that, of course, was really special to us. We had quite a few matching gifts for that and got to highlight a lot of our campaign initiatives that we worked on last year. One of my other favorites, though, was back, it was probably 4 years ago. We did Ducks across the nation, and we tried to get a gift from every state to showcase Ducks across the country. And we had student athletes calling different states and thanking them for supporting them. The one state, Wyoming, was, I mean, we were sitting in the office till like 8 p.m. calling everyone we knew in Wyoming to try and find a Duck fan that would give $5 to this.
That's great.
We found one. We ended up finding one.
Wyoming.
Yeah, we clearly need more Ducks out in Wyoming.
Okay, good to know. I remember one year that there was a Spotify playlist that was like, okay, if you were walking around campus, here are the sounds that you would hear. I thought that was cool. I have a few old classmates of mine that really enjoyed that on Duck Give Day, and that's the other thing. I keep calling it Day of Giving. That's sort of the nationwide day, but really it's Ducks Give Day is the branding this year, and a day with the Ducks in athletics. I got that right?
Yep, you sure did.
Okay, see, I'm coachable. I can get better. What else should fans know? Give us the details one more time if you're just joining us.
If you are just joining, we'd love to have you participate in Ducks Give, a day with the Ducks for athletics. You can find all the details on goducks.com/ducksgive. There are 6 different ways to engage. Each of them has a giveaway component, so one lucky winner will receive a really cool either in-person opportunity or a prize that will all be with the goal of influencing the experience of our student athletes.
Yeah, so if you make a gift of any size as part of the campaign, you're going to get access to all of this stuff. The website is currently live, goducks.com. Has you covered. This is great. So now, because we've discussed your utility knife section of your job title, any updates on Women in Flight specifically as part of the Duck Athletic Fund?
Always. There's always updates for Women in Flight. One big one that I would love for people to know and maybe take a look at is our impact report from the Title IX 50th anniversary Go Do Anything campaign is live And this was a huge project, but is some of the most important work we do in development, in my opinion. And that is telling you what these dollars do and what they do in the lives of, in this case, female student athletes as it relates to that campaign, our priorities, and the incredible goal that we were able to smash.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Really, really cool.
Alexis Cross, Director of Women in Flight / Duck Athletic Fund, Utility Knife. Thanks for being here. Thanks for what you do. Enjoy the day. It's coming up on Thursday. I'm very curious to see how many people get 100% on your quiz.
We will report back.
Thank you. I would like to see the statistics. I want to see, like, maybe can we get like a bell curve on like how many people are at like 80%? Like, because everybody who is a Duck fan, like you need to get at least a 70% a passing grade on this thing, right?
You know, you probably do, and I don't want to throw her under the bus, but I had my mom take the quiz, who is a great Duck fan, and she was sabotaged on a couple questions, so give her a break, but she did not get a 70%.
Sabotaged, though. Sabotaged.
She was a little sabotaged, but I think I purposely made it kind of hard because I know we have some serious Duck fans out there. Had to level up the competition a bit.
All right. Well, it's Monday. I'm going to take the quiz before Thursday if I'm allowed to do that so that I can see what my score is heading into later in the week. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you make a gift to the campaign.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. I think I can make that happen. Alexis Cross, did we miss anything?
Sure didn't. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you on Thursday.
All right. Yeah, Thursday, big day. Ducks Give. GoDucks.com/DucksGive. All the information that we just ran through. That was fun hearing about all of it from Lexi. So I got to tell everybody, Scott and I took the quiz. We did okay. I think we got all of the Oregon athletics-centric questions right, but the ones that were about the state of Oregon, I'm the first to admit, Scott and I got a couple of those wrong. So you can beat us. We'll find out on Thursday. When we come back, some more updates around Oregon athletics. Pac-12 champion, Oregon women's track and field team. Congratulations to the Ducks. More on that and more coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, OnPoint proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. OnPoint Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCAA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Wrapping up today's show with your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill. Well, Oregon baseball on Friday, a 14-5 loss. Saturday, a 9-run first inning for Washington that doomed the Ducks. And, you know, the Ducks are on a skid right now. We know that. But I got to tell you, as a baseball person, box score oddities. So listen to this. In the first inning, Washington's 1-2-3 hitters in the Husky batting order were retired in order to end the first inning. But 9 runs were scored in that inning. I've never seen that before. It didn't go Oregon's way, an 18-8 loss, but I was really beside myself that it went the way that it did. Now, meanwhile, the Ducks on Sunday, they needed to respond, and they kind of did early. They got a 2-run home run from Jacob Walsh. The 20th straight game with a home run. That's a program record, and it was Jacob Walsh's 13th at the time, tied for the team lead. Then later in the game, Drew Cowley homered too, his 14th to lead the Ducks now as an individual. The Ducks took a 4-2 lead into the 5th inning on Sunday, but the Huskies got a 3-run homer to make it 5-4. Matt Dallas actually had to exit mid-hitter. More bad luck for the Ducks. Washington proceeded to add 3 more. So after it was 8-4 through 6, it was a 6-run 6th inning that got the Huskies there. Crooked and big numbers were the difference all weekend long. Ducks loaded the bases with no outs and scored just 1 run in the 7th. Earlier, the Ducks got a runner at third with no outs and didn't score. Then in the 8th, Ducks had a runner gunned at the plate. A foul out to the first baseman that resulted in an inning-ending double play, throwing out a runner trying to advance to third. When it rains, it pours. Nothing went right for the Ducks. And even Drew Smith, who's been playing at third because Sabine Ceballos has been banged up, he left the game after he looked a little uneasy. It was just a weekend you want to forget. Huskies pulled away in the 9th, an 11-5 final, and the Ducks have now allowed double-digit runs in 6 of their last 9 and have lost 7 of their last 8. Oregon has hit the skids on the baseball diamond. Got to find a way against Utah to bounce back, because right now the Ducks are sitting in 6th place in the Pac-12 standing. Stanford has won the league after this weekend. Oregon State and Washington are technically tied for 2nd, but it's going to get interesting down the stretch. And then USC is 4th, Arizona State 5th, Oregon 6th. The Ducks can finish anywhere from 3rd through 7th in the Pac-12 standings heading into this weekend. It's wild. And heading into the final regular season weekend, Drew Cowley needs 2 RBIs to tie the single-season record for runs knocked in, and Tanner Smith needs 1 home run to tie the career record. And we'll see about Jay Stoffel, if he's going to pitch at Utah or not. Now, in terms of Oregon's RPI, the Ducks have dropped to 41 in the RPI. The Ducks were a top 10 RPI team not that long ago. That's how fast it can change for you, for sure. Your Cafe 2-minute drill. Track and field in the Pac-12s. Congratulations again to Oregon Track and Field. Women's basketball guard Chance Gray named a finalist for the USA Basketball's AmeriCup team. That's awesome. Congratulations to Chance. And after the men's golf regional has wrapped up today, the Ducks are currently in 5th place heading into round 2 tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is an important message from the